Hello there. Welcome back to Roll Again. I am DM Steve, as always, and with me today I have one of the players in the upcoming campaign, Haunted Heroes, that's going to be starting in a few weeks, and we're doing a session 0. So Kay is a player who's been with me in the past campaign this whole year, and I'm going to turn it over to her to kind of introduce her character.
Greetings. I'm playing as Franceis Forge, dhampir and artificer, who has dedicated her existence to hunting beasts and monsters to compensate for her own beastly, monstrous state. Not a very kind character. Not very open, very, very obsessive over her goals of hunting and killing anything she deems unworthy to live. Any impure creatures, monsters, demons, whatever have you, she will hunt down with a obsessive ferocity. And slaughter him.
Awesome. And tell us about her race and her class.
She started out as a high elf, silver elf specifically, and survived a vampire attack, and thus became a dhampir. As an artificer, she's an artillerist specifically, deals in guns, weapons of the like, tends to modify her weapons, is never satisfied with how they are, as they are. There's always room for improvement to bring the pain.
So we're going to start off by rolling some dice. You've got some dice there, and we're going to roll for your ability scores. I'm going to share a screen here with your character sheet already. And I've already kind of punched in some of your information that you gave me ahead of time so that we can add scores in as we need to. As you can see already, you have a +2 to dexterity as well as a +1 to intelligence. Those are some modifiers that came with your class and race already. So I've kind of put those in so we don't forget them. But as always, kind of the way I've always done it, and I know a lot of other people do it too, just for anybody watching, is I like to do rolling for ability scores with the 4d6 method. I think it's the best. You roll 4d6, drop the lowest, and that kind of gives you the best option for good outcomes, at least for a strong start. So with that being said, why don't you give us the first roll?
Hang on, dropped one of my dice.
You got a cocked dice already. We just started. This is I don't know if that's a good omen or a bad omen.
I hope it's a good one. Yeah, 2 4s and a 6.
2 4s, a 6, and what was your fourth one?
A 3.
A 3. Okay, so you could call all 4 out, and then we'll drop one. All right, so not too bad. That starts off as a 14, which is pretty solid already. So give us your next roll.
Three 4s and a 5.
Wow. All right. You're starting strong. So 3 4s and a 5 would give you 13. All right. Give us another roll.
Two 3s, a 5, and a 2.
All right, so we'll drop that 2 out of there. That's 11. That's still strong, especially before any modifiers. All right, give us your fourth roll.
Dropping dice. 2 2s, a 4, and a 5.
All right, so we'll drop a 2. That's another 11. Excellent. All right, we got 2 more rolls to go, so give us another one.
Two 3s, a 2, and a 1.
All right, you started much stronger, but that's all right. So that's going to be an 8. All right, and now give me another roll.
A 5, a 6, a 3, and a 1.
All right, so that gives you another 14. So that's pretty solid as well. All right, so we got a 14, we got 14, 13, 11, 11, 8, 14. So 2 14s, a 13, 2 11s, and an 8. So pretty solid group of numbers. So looking at your character sheet, you do have some modifiers already. As an artificer and an artillerist, con and intelligence are normally most important. Your intelligence is your spell casting ability, and constitution comes into play quite a bit as well. So you can see up there, we already got the plus 200 dex, which will add to whatever score. So you've got 2 14s to start off with. Where would you like to put the first 14?
Definitely an intelligence.
Okay, so that gives you a 15 for intelligence. And I'm going to wait till the end because we're going to have one more addition of some stuff here before we throw in the modifiers for total. All right, what about your second 14?
Constitution.
Good call. All right. That brings us to your 13.
Dexterity.
Nice. That's a 15. All right. Now you got 2 11s to put someplace.
Strength and wisdom.
All right. I feel like you had that. That was a quick call. You knew exactly where they wanted to go. And that puts your 8 with charisma. But you know that sounds kind of like it goes along with the background of your character and the type of character you want to play. It doesn't sound like you're not like Francis is terribly worried about being well liked.
Not really, no.
Awesome. So that starts us off there. Now the other thing to keep in mind is we're going to be starting at level 5. So that means at level 4, we would have had another ability boost. So looking at your scores, you got 11, 15, 14, 15, 11, and 8. You can either increase one of those by 2 or 2 of them by 1.
I'm going to increase strength by 1.
Okay.
And wisdom by another 1.
All right. Okay, so with that, we'll come in and put that. That's going to give you a +1 for strength, +2 for dexterity, a +2 for constitution, another +2 for intelligence. Wisdom will give you a +1, and charisma will actually give you a -1. I don't like to go below -1s with modifiers, because normally it would be a -2, I believe, but I don't like to go too far. There's no point in going, making it such a hindrance, especially with an 8. An 8's still not terribly bad. Anything below an 8 would basically be not just that you have no charisma, but you'd be like completely unlikable the second you walk into an actual room.
That's pretty on point.
That's pretty on point. All right, so we're pretty close to that to begin with. All right, the next piece that we're going to look at is your proficiencies. You're proficient in your saving throws, your Constitution and Intelligence. So your con saving throw is going to be a +2 plus your +3. So it's going to be a 5. That's very small, but it is what it is. You're going to get a 5 for Constitution and Intelligence. I can actually make that better. There we go. And then down here in your skills, you have Perception as a proficient skill because of being a high elf. You get to choose 2 more skills that you want to be proficient in.
Investigation and stealth.
And stealth. Awesome. So that's going to be, that's going to give you a 5 for investigation. It's going to give you a 4 for perception. And it's going to give you a 5 for stealth as well. +5s for all those. And I'll fill in the others after the session, but before I send this back over to you. The next piece we got to worry about is hit points. So we are at level 5, so you're going to be rolling a D8, which is your hit points as a artificer, artillerist, or gunslinger, as I put it down, because I know you have guns. As always, whenever there's a level 1, I like to start that to max. So that's always 8 from a D8 plus your con modifier, which your Constitution is 2. So basically, you start with a 10 at level 1. So you need to give me a 1d8 for level 2.
Eight.
All right, so that gives us another 10 because you get the +2 from your con. Give me another one.
A 1.
Okay, that's a 3. Actually, in hit points, I never like 1s because, especially when you get into higher levels, you spend a lot of time waiting for your next level up, and then to roll a 1 for a hit point is kind of a killer. So whenever we roll a 1 for hit points, I roll again, which is kind of the name of the channel. So go ahead and roll that one again.
I got 1 again.
Give me one more roll on it.
5.
All right, so 5 is that's 7. That would be a level 3. So give me a level 4 roll.
7.
All right, that's a 9. All right, and give me one more roll for level 5.
A 1.
Give me another roll.
8.
All right, that's another 10. All right, so that's going to give you a whopping 46 hit points. To start with at level 5. So not too shabby. That's a pretty good spot to start with. Your speed, I believe, is 35 because you're a dhampir. You get a little bit of a boost to your speed. And you also have spider walk or spider climb, which you got at level 3. So that means that you can walk at your normal speed on ceilings, upside down, without use of your hands. So basically as if you're walking normally, but on any vertical or upside down surface. All right, so the next kind of thing to get to, armor class. You have medium armor, which is what you're proficient in. Did you have any idea of what type of armor Francis is going to be wearing?
Leather. Definitely leather.
Leather. Leather's light. You don't want to have a little bit, you don't want a medium type armor? Because you're an artificer, you can wear medium armor, which would give you the option of hide, chain mail, scale mail, half plate. Those are all mediums?
Hide might work. Hide will work.
Okay. You have a revolver. You have proficiencies. You're proficient in longsword and short sword and bow. Those came from your high elf status, as well as light armor from them. But then you also get medium armor, shield, and guns, which you're all proficient in because of your artillerist background. And you speak Common and Elvish for your languages. I've got you down as a revolver for a weapon already. Do you have another weapon, like for close, maybe hand to hand, if your revolver runs out of ammo?
A gutting knife.
Okay. Dagger or knife?
Dagger, probably.
Okay. So I'll put that into there, as well as any spell casting stuff. Dagger is normally a 1d4. Plus. All right. So 1d4. And I'll put in your attack bonus and everything later. Besides that, your spells, I've put in a few already. Your spellcasting ability is your intelligence. Now, a few things to start with to know. Because of your artillerist, you get a few spells automatically that you would have gotten as you leveled up into level 5. You have Shield and Thunder Wave, which are level 1 spells, and you have Scorching Ray and Shatter, which are level 2 spells. Those don't go against your spell list. An artillerist is kind of cool because they're a little bit like a cleric in the fact that you prepare spells, you don't learn them. So what that means basically is every time you have a long rest, you can rearrange the spells you have. There's a long list of spells that are available to artillerists or artificers in general. And basically, you can choose any of the spells off that long list to be prepared for every long rest you have. The top of that being that you can only prepare so many a day. So you basically have to pick and choose which ones you want. You have 4 spell slots you can use for level 1. And then you also have 2 spell slots that you can use for level 2. The nice thing is these spells, Shield, Thunder Wave, Scorching Ray, and Shatter that you have already, they'll take up a spell slot when you cast them, like any spell, but they don't count against the number of spells you prepare because those spells are always prepared for you. So you prepare. Your intelligence modifier, I believe, was a +2. Let me double check that.
Yes.
Yep. +2, and your level's 5 rounded down, so in half. So basically, that gives us another 2. So you can prepare 4 spells a day, but they can basically be any 4 spells from the artificer list that are within slots you have. So right now you have 1st and 2nd level spell slots. So you can pull 4 total of any 1st or 2nd level spells from the list. Plus you always have those 4 that are already on there. And that's kind of cool as far as prepared spells go, because if you find yourself in a certain environment where you decide you want to use a different spell, once you do a long rest, you can get rid of some spells and pull in new spells, things like that. Try spells, which is kind of neat. You don't have to wait for leveling up or anything to switch spells.
I actually already compiled a list.
Awesome. Oh, the other nice thing too is you get cantrips. I believe you start with 2 cantrips as an artificer, but you also get an additional cantrip. Because you're a high elf originally, you can choose 1 cantrip from the wizard spell list.
That I did not know.
Yeah, so you can always think of that one and add it before the first session. But give me the ones that you had in mind already.
Firebolt and Mending.
Firebolt and Mending. All right, let me get into my next one. Okay, what about level 1?
Absorb elements.
Okay.
Identify.
Identify. Okay.
Fairy fire.
Okay.
And catapult.
Okay. Now, keep in mind, you can only prepare 4 total. So if you prepare all 4 of those for first, you don't get any second levels.
Mm-hmm.
Did you have second levels you wanted to use or no?
I do actually. I had pyrotechnics and see invisibility.
Okay, so pyrotechnics we can put in, and invisibility, you said?
See invisibility, yeah.
Oh, see invisibility. All right, so do you want to pull 2 from up here? And the thing with it, again, like I said, is if you go with two of these at your next long rest, you can swap them if you want, because you can always change these at a long rest.
In that case, I'll remove identify and fairy fire.
All right. So we'll go with catapult here, and then we'll get rid of that. Yeah, and again, that's the kind of cool part about that is, you know, like, I mean, if you guys find magic items in your group and you need to identify them, you can always wait till the next day and prepare that spell and then use it to identify. Anything we should know about Franceis Forge, the artificer, gunslinger, dhampir?
She carries, I think, to add to tools, thieves' tools and tinker's tools were on the list for artificer.
Yep, you actually are proficient in both of those as well, because you're an artificer. So I'll put those in your equipment, and I'll add them to your proficiency.
Fantastic.
Because I think actually how it's listed is you're proficient in tinker tools as an artificer, and then you can add another craftsman or another type of tools, and that would be thieves' tools. So that falls under the artillerist or piece right there. So awesome. Yeah, and so I think we got everything. Like I said, some of this stuff is based off the scores you just rolled, so I'll kind of fill in some things before I send the completed piece to you, and then of course you can always fill in some of the appearance and backstory and all that kind of stuff on the second page. But I will finish this up and send it to you, and then we look forward to the first session of the Haunted Heroes campaign.
Wonderful. I look forward to it.
All right. Excellent. Well, it's been great having you, and I'm looking forward to having Franceis Forge, the dhampir, in the campaign. So thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for everybody who joined, and you can comment below and let us know anything you thought about the character development here, and if you're excited to see the beginning session. And until next time, keep playing, and we will see you later.